live. Here we are. If you're on here, let me know if that fan blowing. It's a little too hot to be without a fan out here. This thing's got so many settings and I can't see anything until it's retouch. I guess that's my makeup is messed up. Brutal parts versus the worst. Hey man, can you hear the fan like blowing on this microphone? You actually have a little crown next to you with the number 1. Look at you go. Barely. Let me see if I move it. No, I don't have any more space to move it. That's right. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Tony Smart said barely. Hammerback 972 said, hello everyone, looks like that fan is putting in work. That fan up there does a fantastic job of making it not feel real stale in there and whenever a machine smokes. Besides that, it is useless for cooling you down. Brutal said some fan noise. Hopefully that made it a little bit better. I got it turned all the way down, but it's too hot out here. That's why I did it at 8 o'clock instead of the normal 7 o'clock. Hammerback said, nope, can't hear it enough to matter. Awesome, man. The Honda Ripper said, hi. What's going on, Honda? We're gonna get a few minutes in, let some people get on here, and then we're gonna do this giveaway of the stickers from the Big Bear 250 video. Keep wanting to call it a bear tracker because I did the bear tracker right there next to it. And I lost my train of thought there. But there was a lot more interest in these than I thought there would be. That's for sure. I see that back there. Outlander looking all busted. I'm busted too, so I'm having a hard time moving around. King 3YT said, when are you gonna drop a new video? I drop them every Sunday at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. I can't remember. I set them. It's either 5 or 6 a.m. Hello, Al Rad said, hello, my friend. Stay cool there and okay. Yeah, it is definitely warm out here in Oklahoma. I think it hit over 100 degrees yesterday. It's a little bit cooler this afternoon because some rain came through but didn't hit us, which is good because that means we don't get the humidity from it tomorrow. But man, that a few weeks ago when we were getting all that rain back to back, that humidity, man, it made the shop suck. I know, like last night, I was out here till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, because it's so miserable in there during the day. It's not enough airflow. Lorenza said hello from Argentina. How's it going, man? That's a hike from here. Alrad said hot here in Gulfport, Mississippi as well. Yeah, I was looking at a map earlier and it was like, I think it said Mobile, Alabama, which is pretty close to that, isn't it? And you got like your 100-degree days logged back all the way to the 1800s. And Oklahoma City beat them all. But Mobile was up there. It had a lot. Brutal Parts said it hit 100 today in the shop. Dang, you don't have AC in your shop? I thought y'all were air conditioned there. Hammerback said hot here in Kentucky too. 94 with a feel like temp of 105. Too hot. I know. It'd be like 100 degrees feels like 10 million. I'm telling you. I've been having to take breaks. It's too hot out here. Josh Millway said hot here in Texas too. Yeah, it's definitely hot down there. Man, I'm right across the Texas border, so it's about the same. 3Y Eastern Oklahoma. Right on, I think it takes me like 15 minutes to get to Texas. Hammerback 972 said Gulfport. I came down to that area and worked after Hurricane Katrina as a Leo. Gulfport. I thought it was all Louisiana that got hit. Ethan said, hot here in Missouri too. I'd imagine so. I'd imagine so, because it's... But y'all get all the extreme cold too up there. Alrad said, only bad thing about a metal building, it's like a microwave in this extreme heat. You know, with the insulation in here, it's not as bad. The shop I had before the last one, there's no videos of me in that shop, but we didn't have insulation, and it was like an oven in there. I just had to work crackhead hours. There was just no way to, you can't, because from like, it was like 12 to, let's say 7, it was just so hot and miserable in there. Tony Smart said, hot and humid here in South Carolina. Yeah. King3 YouTube said, how far away do you live from Beaver's Bend? Depending on which part, like 45 minutes, 30 minutes. And depends on the traffic. What is it? I guess if there's no traffic, I can get over there in 35 minutes or so. Ethan said, no, we don't. Its highest was 150. It feels like it. It definitely feels like 150 out here. All right, guys. Well, let's do this sticker giveaway. Figure out how to turn my computer around. Turn my camera around. Oh, man. My body hurts. The bruising's just starting to show. All right. So, I'm a little bit slow without using my mouse. Solve the sum, 8 and 7, that is 15. We'll do this 5 times, 3 times. Let's see. Marky Mark 5281. There we go. And if you're a winner and you happen to be on this chat, reach out to me through the ATV Hustle Facebook page, because you can't PM me through YouTube. I wish they'd let that, but they don't have it. I have to come back up here and do it again. I'll reach out to, if you're not on here, I'll reach out to you as well in the comments, and then get your address and get it shipped out. Come back down here. Let's see who's next. J Lad Golden 5398. Yeah, buddy. All right. And number 3 is 9 plus 8 is 17. Golly, don't let me get my math wrong on a live thing. And let's roll through them. El Smitro. There we go. And you know what? Let's do another one. There was a lot of comments, so screw it. 6 plus 4 is 9. Just kidding, that's 10. I have to count the ones when I get home from work at night, you know? From my day job over at the strip club. Just kidding. Rick Harford 599. There we go. That's 4 of y'all right there, man. All right, and put this back around. If like I said, if you're on here, reach out to the ATV Hustle Facebook page or TikTok. I'll check my TikTok messages. I normally don't. All right, where were we at? 6 Star Garage said, hello from Washington State. What's going on, man? King3 YouTube, here in Texas is hitting like 105 to 110. Yeah, I mean, I'm from East Texas, Kemp, Scurry, Texas area. And man, that heat is fun. Hammerback 972, what happened to you, boss? So, over the weekend, Saturday night or Sunday morning, depending on the way you want to look at it. Can I zoom on this? Yeah, I can. I came into a corner too hot. I flipped it. I don't know what I hit. I tell you this much, when I flew off, I lost one of my shoes. And the bruising's starting to come in right here, but just all that swollen back there. I don't know, I'm not much of a like bruise shower. Like it just happens. So yeah, it's not totaled. I gotta get with Brutal Parts and see if he's got the stuff I need, because it needs like a one frame stay. That's one cool thing about Can-Am. That thing has like, it's all modular, so it's like even the frame, like I know the frame's good. We've rode it, my wife rode it because I can't really ride it right now. The way the frame, it's like an oval. That's the best way to put it. And that back section is a replaceable section. And I looked it up. It's $150 or so. I know I have to replace the bars and the rack and a couple other minor stuff, but we should be just fine. Should be no big deal. Ethan said, grab the cam for Lamar edit. I don't know what that means, bud. King3 said hi. What's going on, man? Mark W said hi. What's going on, buddy? Chris Placeweb, what brand do you think is the best four-wheeler? That's a loaded question. There's a lot of models I really like and a lot of models I don't. If you're gonna be working on your own stuff and you want something that's bigger bore, nice ride quality, Polaris. And I know I get a lot of hate on the channel for the Polaris stuff, but once you learn how to work on Polaris, they're one of the simplest machines that I've ever worked on. Like there's some stuff that's easier on a Honda, but for the most part, like Polarises are much easier. And then, you know, all the Hondas, if you get a foot shift stripped down model with no electronics, man, they're reliable. There's a reason they have a name for that. And I love my Can-Am. I hate working on it. Everything fits so tightly together. So if you're not gonna be working on it and you want just bukus of power, Can-Am's the way to go. That's an 850 Outlander. They make the Renegade without racks. Polaris did the same thing. You get the Scrambler without racks, or you can get the Sportsman with racks. I don't know. And then there's certain other models that stand out. It's like if you wanted a sport quad, the LTZs are great. The KFX is the same thing. The DVX Arctic Cat, if you don't care, like I think they're ugly, but you know, everybody has their own opinion on that. Then you got like the 450Rs, the YFZ, the TRSs, they're great units. They're more maintenance. 400EX, that's a great pick. So it really depends on your riding style. I'm not brand loyal. I want a Razor, so I'm not brand loyal to the Can-Am. Like it doesn't matter to me. Northwest, Mark W said Northwest Oregon, 82 degrees and humid. I'll be honest with you, man, that does not seem that hot to me. But you know what? Y'all get some cold up there. It snowed here, and it was like one day in, and I was like, I'm over this cold. Alrad said, you did a good job on the bruise. I know. I have no idea what I hit. It's a blur. I was going too fast, locked up the brakes. Next thing you know, I'm standing there with the quad, trying to flip it back over, and could barely stand up. I'm much better today. It's slowly but surely getting better. But I'll tell you what, the work that I've been doing on the units for this weekend's video, that was hard on me. Ethan said, grab a cam for Lamar edit. I don't get it, man. I'm totally lost on that. Josh Milwee, around Abilene area, it feels like a hairdryer when you go outside. Yeah, I bet. And Brutal Parts said, probably the handlebar got you. Well, my bars ain't bent. I've yet to go back and look at it during the day, because where I was riding, I've nenever really been there during the day to see if maybe I hit a rock, because there's a lot of that out here. Hammerback 972 said, oh man, years ago I had an Arctic Cat. tried to kill me, tip back, knocked hip out of place, totaled it. And I was parking the stupid thing. I'm not a mechanic, own a 2005 Polaris Sportsman and do all the work myself, easy. Man, yeah, the Arctic Cats, they're heavy. And that's the thing, like, I don't remember the exact spec of how much that Outlander weighs, but with meat on it, it's something like 1,100 pounds. And so when you get, most of the bigger bore Arctic Cats, they're just as heavy. So I could see that. And those 05 Sportsmen, I love working on those because they updated that body style, and you can just unbolt that front box thing and just take it right off. And then the front plastic unbolts and you can just slide it out the back, because the older generation, you had to, like, unless you take the bars off, you have to really finesse the plastic over the bars, and it's huge pain. Brutal Parts said, we have a Sportsman 570. It rides like a lazy boy, but slow AF. Well, them 570s ain't slow. If you compare it to like a 500, it's not slow at all. It's probably slow compared to your Brute, though. Coasty Doc Garage said, hi, what's going on, man? Hammerback 972 said, my 500 is a turd, a comfy turd. yeah, that, a lot of people say they're turds. I like them. I think they're nice. And another thing, the knockoff seats for those that are like $70, they're so comfortable. Like, I've never sat on a factory Sportsman seat and it be that comfortable. Alrad said, could have landed on a rock or a stick. Glad you didn't get hurt worse than just bruises or aches. I'll agree, because I was moving pretty quickly. I have no idea what speed I was at when I wrecked, but I was not wearing a helmet, and it definitely could have been a lot worse. Raptor Crazy said, what's up, big doggy? What's going on, bro? Hammerback 972 said that Arctic Cat was an 05 model, mid-mount engine, I guess it was. Terrible weight distribution. Love the Sportsman. I am not one to bash on somebody's machine for what they ride. You know, everybody has their own preference for what they ride. I'm not a fan of Arctic Cat. From what I've been told, somewhere around 2013, or maybe it was earlier, starting with the Mud Pro 700s is when Arctic Cat actually made their own engines. So like an 05, you're probably looking at, that was probably a 650 V2 or a 650 H2. I think it was 650 H2, where one of them, the 650 V2, is the Brute Force or Prairie 650 engine. They're the same thing. It just depends on what year model, I guess. The Prairie came out first, then it was Brute Force 650, and then the only difference was the IRS models. And then the 650H1 was actually the Suzuki motor. And I don't know why they call it, I could be wrong. I could have swore that's a 500 in those. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, those are some heavy machines. Mark W, any specific machine you wouldn't want to work on regardless of how cheap it is? You know which ones I absolutely hate? And it's Arctic Cat sold them, but they were made by Suzuki. They were 250s and 300s. When you look at them from the side, you can't see the engine. I despise working on those. If I buy one, it's just getting resold as it is. I'm not working on it. Not to mention, no one wants them. If you post one on Marketplace, everyone's like, where's the engine? How is it run and drive with there's no engine in it? So that one, I don't like the little Chinese bikes, like the Tao Tao, stuff like that, because all the electronics are just junk on them. And because you can get those dirt cheap. And then I'm trying to think of anything else. Some of the old, real old stuff that's not really, I don't know, stuff from the 80s, some of it. I'd probably still work on that. Hammerback 972, I didn't buy the Sportsman to go fast. I got it for pulling firewood and hauling. Have Super Swamper Vampire 2s on it, built to go through everything. Yeah, with those old school Super Swampers, I don't even know if they still make those. Maybe with them being Vampire 2s, because the last time I had a pair, they weren't Vampire 2s. But those are some aggressive things. Brutal Parts said, how many trail sodas? I have no idea. All of them, or none of them. I cannot confirm nor deny that. Brittany says, your wife is still recovering from the heart attack you gave her too. I'm sorry. 500, I didn't like it at all. See the 500s, that was definitely the Suzuki Vincent 500 motor, which is a decent motor. Like, I mean, the ones I've bought, the Suzukis had frame issues. And those 05s, man, they had, the one thing Arctic Cat did really well was make bumpers. The bumpers and the racks on those things are stout. We had one, and I had this idea we were just gonna destroy it, but I couldn't get it to run right. And it was a 650 V2 though, and I wanna say it was 05, 06. I ran that thing straight into the shop trash can, going pretty quick, not quick enough to throw me off, but quick enough to, it dented the trash can, but not the bumper, and it was one of those big dumpsters. So Arctic Cat did do a great job there. Al Rad said, another YouTuber just had that cat with the hidden engine in his video. Goofy looking thing for sure. And the other thing that I hate about those is like the engine, rear differential, all of that, everything's in the back. So the only thing in the front, if you had a 4x4 model, you'd have the front drive shaft, front diff. So you would have no weight in the front, all the weight in the back. Like, they are heavy in the back end. Fazim Hassin, sorry bud, I'm butchering your name. Hey, I am in the market to buy a four-wheeler. What is a good used brand to buy? I am mostly going to use it for hunting. I mean, you can't go wrong. Honda, if you want foot shift Honda, if you're looking for ride quality, Polaris or Can-Am, they're all kind of the top dogs right now, and like bang for the buck, the 570s are great quads. The platform's been around for so long, they've worked all the bugs out of them. The Outlanders, they just dropped a new version of this. So mine is a 24, and the last one, 25. What is that noise? Sound like a cat just fell off the roof. And I mean, you can get a 2025. I guess that really depends on what you're spending too. If you're looking to spend something cheap, new, or just overall cheap, the Honda Recons are great quads. They're not big. I don't know, I guess it'd tow a big deer out. I've towed some crazy stuff with one, but a Honda, Polaris, Can-Am, Yamaha makes a good quad too, but I don't have that much experience with them. Hammerback 972 said the Swampers are still made. Vampire 2s were the only ones offered in a 26x12s. Want to change to 14-inch rims at some point. Yeah, those, the 14s look good on the quad, on mine at least. And definitely give you all the clearance you need. But if you get on Marketplace, man, you can usually find some, especially if you're not looking for something special, you can get a set of like Razor takeoffs pretty cheap, and then be good and rocking on some 14s. Hammerback 972. Hossein, my suggestion would be a Polaris Sportsman. I bought mine used, runs great, 5,500 hours on it. Wow, that's quite a bit of hours on that. Like most of these that I'm buying, like when I buy them broke down, 5,500 hours, it's usually non-repairable. Like they're either taken care of and they make the distance, or they're just done for by then. Gamer Dad T-Man, Taos are an easy fix, easy flip up here in Wisconsin. Buy them needing work for cheap. $200 is my limit. Sell them for $500 up here. Easy 300 profit. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, everybody I know that has like kind of specializes in stuff like that, the Taos, they swear by them, because the parts are dirt cheap. I don't like the little stuff either, and the Chinese stuff. You get into trying to find parts for some of them. I guess Tao is better. Like their parts market's there. But like, what's the other brand? I'm drawing a blank. Like, I'd probably mess with SSR, but I don't think they make quads anymore. I don't know. There's so many different brands, and some of them they are kind of difficult to find parts for. Hammerback 972 said, I hauled a good buck out of the wood with a Yamaha Warrior back in the day. That was difficult. I could see that. I had to tow my buddy. His KFX 450R sheared the sprocket bolts off. We were way, way back in the woods. It was all gravel roads to go there, but man, it was a lot of up and down and hills and stuff. And I'm on my LTZ, and he's got this thing, and I'm like, man, we're gonna have to try to make it back up this hill, because it's a pretty steep hill. And I'm like, all right, just don't smile, bro. So if one of these rocks go flinging, it doesn't take one of your teeth out. We made it, but it's definitely not as fun to pull out anything heavy with a sport quad. Gamer Dad T-Man said, my 2006 Recon has hauled out multiple deer at a time here in Wisconsin. Hey, the Recons, I swear by them. If you want something cheap, get you a foot shift Recon. Those things last forever. You just kind of take care of it and it'll last forever. We've owned 5 or 6 of them, and like one of them being a TRX 250EX, which is the same thing. It's just, you don't get the racks, and it's more sporty looking plastics. Every one of them, one of the first few bikes I bought to flip. So I bought first one was a Kawasaki Zephyr. After that, I bought I think it was 98 or 99 Honda Recon. That was smoking. Paid $200 for it. We rode that thing for months. Maybe like 2 years. I think we had it like 2 years. I sold it still smoking. $700 or $800. I have no, and that thing I pulled I wanted to buy this little trailer this guy had, but it was completely filled with trash, and it was like a 4x8 trailer with wood walls. And I remember the walls being higher than my head, and I'm 5'9", so standing on the ground. And it had little tires. It wasn't like, you know, a big heavy duty trailer. I pulled that thing home, and it struggled, but it did it down the highway. And man, you can't beat them. And the weirdest thing is that thing smoked more when it started running out of oil. That's how I knew to put more oil in it. Hammerback said, Hammerback 972 said, good idea. Buying another set of tires in 14 is holding me back. I maintain my Sportsman like an obsessed weirdo. Don't smoke or anything. Hey, you know what? You take care of them and they last. A lot of people give the Polaris a bad rap, especially the 500s, the Sportsmans. They hate working on them. But man, I think those 500s are just as reliable as the old Hondas. But they are probably the most abused, because not everybody can get on a foot shift Honda and ride it and actually shift gears, where like on a Polaris, you just hop on it, put it in gear, and go. And for a while there, that 500 Sportsman was like one of the biggest things offered. And then they came out with the 600 and the 700 in, what was that, 03? Yeah, because I don't think 600 was offered after 05. When they went to EFI 700s, I think they discontinued the 600. Brittany said, forever a Honda Recon fan. Yeah, I know you are. Aaron M, I had a Grizzly 660, best bike I've ever owned. Yeah, them Grizzlies, they're good quads. A friend of mine got the 700, and he says it's his favorite quad he's owned so far. I've yet to go riding with him to see if he'd let me ride it, but the 660s, they're definitely nice quads, and they've gotten to where the parts are so cheap for them now, and they're virtually pretty easy to work on. IRS quad, so you get the ride quality. I wouldn't say that they ride as good as the Sportsman's, but they're definitely nice rides. Brutal Parts said, keep oil in a Honda Recon and you're golden. Yeah, and rear axle seals. Aside from that, that thing will live forever. The rear axle seals, they fail. You fill that diff full of water, there goes the diff. Brittany said, smoking. Oh yeah, we had that for about that 98 Recon for about a year and a half. Smoking, I forgot all about that it didn't have any brakes. Hammerback 972 said, I paid way too much for my Sportsman, so I have to take care of it. It has to last. Had it 5 years now. So that sounds like you paid for it in the height of the market, probably in 2020 when everything started skyrocketing. Because I know for me, like, bikes started going way stupid high. You could sell junk and it would just sell like that. I was buying these units from auction and I would just bring them home, put them on Marketplace, and they just selling, just fast cycle list them for stupid prices too. Al Rad, I had an 05 Grizzly 662, had carb problems constantly. Otherwise was a great riding machine. Yeah, I mean that comes with carb stuff, like sometimes you just can't quite get them right, like if it's a small microscopic leak or something in the diaphragm, or like there's just a little bit clogged up, or Chinese carb, them Chinese carbs, they're so hit and miss. Sometimes they're good runners, sometimes not. Hammerback 972, the early Sportsmans had cam problems. I've heard you mention it. Mine is the last year of carb and cam is good. They actually did the carb models to 2014. So like they discontinued the 500 in 2013. I might be a little off on these years, but I think it was 2013 they discontinued the carb model 500. But the previous, one of the recent quads was in either an 11 or a 12. The red one that I ended up just cutting ties with and parting out, that was a carb Sportsman. But yeah, the cam problems, there was a common issue with them. The Rangers had it too. Basically anything on that platform, the early ones. Nathan Spate said, Irby, look at you. Hey, what's going on, Nathan? Brutal Parts said, we just ordered another set of Sunup tires to add studs for a little racing action. Yeah, buddy, send me a picture of those once you get them studded up. Hey, and if anyone needs tires, if you need a discount on it, it's in all my descriptions for the recent videos. But the Sunups, you can't really see them right here. Oh, I bent my back in the wrong way. The Sunups, whatever, y'all get the point. Those stack of tires back there. Get a 5% discount on their website, and they're fast shipping too. So like, you buy something. I'm in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma. I get nothing fast. And then I ordered those like on a Monday, and I had them by Thursday. So that's pretty cool. And they don't smush them. I don't know if anybody's ever ordered tires like on eBay. Some of those brands, they smush the tires. Now, I don't own a tire machine, so honestly, I don't know. But like, you take them to a tire shop and they start complaining because they can't get them to seat because the tire's been so smushed. They ship the 2 rears separate and the 2 fronts together. And so it's technically three packages for a full set. And they don't smush them, they just wrap them together. James Tennell, how are you doing tonight? I'm doing pretty good, how about yourself? Brutal Parts said, Brittany, brakes, ain't that what first gear is for? Yeah, you had a downshift. I mean, with a Recon, you can just smash those gears. Hammerback, we put those tires on a company side by side. And yes, bought it around then. Misled by seller, it looked good and I bought it. Bad stator, among other things. Yeah, and then, from my experience buying some of this stuff, a lot of times the seller doesn't know. In my opinion, never trust the seller, but that's not necessarily all their fault. You just don't trust the seller. Because I've drove out to go buy something. Dude told me it ran. And it's been a few weeks back, and it was a Sportsman with a bed on it. I forget what that's called. Dang it. Anyway, that would have been at the end of last year, beginning of this year. I drove all the way over there 2.5 hours for this Sportsman that was supposed to run when it was parked. I get there and it's locked up. Just locked smooth up. I popped the airbox cover off. Man, it was full of water. I bought it anyways. We put some Marvel Mist Oil in it, unlocked it. I rode it around for like 2 or 3 hours. to burn all the Marvel Mist oil I put in it out, and quad ran great. Mark W. said, if you're stuck with a Chinese M-carb, use stock jetting and non-ethanol gas. I've had them last a lot longer with the better fuel. You know, I've heard that to use the stock jets, and I try to do that if I have them. But most time, if I'm using one, I don't have the OEM carb. And a lot of times, because like those, like Polaris is probably the worst carb, because the jets that come in those, like that carb technically fits. You know, you could put it in anything from the 330 to the 700, but the jetting is definitely not going to be the same between those. But I've heard that some of them you can't actually use stock jets. Now on my LTZ, I had factory Keen jets in a Chinese carb. That thing never, ever, ever let me down with carb issues. James Tennell, is an Arctic Cat 600, how good are they? I'm not an Arctic Cat fan. The 650 V2 is basically a brute force motor. I don't know if they made a 600. The 650 H1, I believe that's a Suzuki engine. And then there's like, if you mean 700, I believe that would be the Mud Pro, which is an actual Arctic Cat engine. So I guess it kind of depends on your personal preference. Me, I would rather have a Suzuki engine than the V-twin Kawasaki. Those ones, I parted out too many of them and they all had the same problem. Crankshaft failure. Brutal Parts says it's because people don't ever check their oil. I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever give a V-twin Kawasaki a chance to figure that out. Hammerback said, the seller told me he bought it new. His dad rode it, no issues. It was a disaster from day one. Burnt up a battery from charging 17 to 18 volts. Yeah, technically you're supposed to, technically, when you replace the stator, you're supposed to do the stator, the rectifier, and the battery all at the same time, because being electrical issues, they can like backfeed each other. And I don't remember the exact reasoning to it. Like, I'm not that like technical in that aspect, but something like if you basically fry the battery and you go to start it up, you can kind of fry the rectifier again. And I don't know. I don't know exact details on that, but yeah, that can be a headache dealing with that. Exile Star, I have a question. Have you ever worked on a 96 Bombardier GSX jet ski? We parted one out a couple years ago. I haven't really worked on jet skis. It's something I need to do soon. I'd like to do soon, just for the fun of it. So you never know when you're watching the channel and I'll have some skis, but I don't really have that much experience with them. I know pulling the motors is kind of a pain on some models. It depends on if it's got like because there's different motors in them. You can get like the 717. There's like a 526. I'm butchering that. I'm not even gonna go on further because I'm butchering it. Exile Star said, can call me Mason, by the way. What's going on, Mason? Hammerback said, run a Chinese carb on mine. $35 on Amazon. Been on there 5 years now. Carb boot is the weak link. Always cracks. I always have issues with the one going from the airbox to the carb, but the one going from the carb to the engine, not really. But they're like, I don't know, $10 on Amazon now. And it's so much easier putting it on a brand new carb boot versus an old one. But you know, a lot of people I see that they swear by the Chinese carbs. They won't even bother cleaning the OEMs. I'd rather clean the OEM. I know on the Rangers, if you don't have an OEM carb on there, it's a pain. Brutal Parts said, don't say crank. Oh, hell, he said crank. Hey, you know it. Hammerback 972 said, before I figured out it was stator, I put a new computer in it. Learn the hard way not to throw parts at a machine. Have a computer if anyone needs one. Are you talking about the the Sure Power unit that looks like a big rectifier that are like, yay big. Those things are gonna go up in value because I don't know if they're making them anymore. You could keep it around like gold or something because like, what year model is it? The 07, 08 Ranger 700s. They were real bad about destroying those. That Sure Power unit, which looks like a big rectifier, went under the hood, and they're not available on eBay. Last time I looked, China's ripping off everything real bad. Last time I looked, XR100 plastics weren't available to buy. Like, you had to buy used ones, and they were all beat up and expensive. They knocked them off now. Hammerback 972 said, airbox to carb is the OEM one on mine. The carb boot has been replaced 5 to 6 times. I mean, 5,500 hours, I could see that. They make the knockoff ones on eBay, on Amazon, like every one of them I bought. I have not had any fit issues, and for the price, I ain't complaining. I know the airbox to carb, you can get those like $15, and the airbox, the carb to head, $10. Exile Stars said, I am actually trying to start my own business on working on ATVs and UTVs, but also trying to build me a shop by myself at the same time. But since I started watching you live, started doing this. I mean, dude, this has taken me a long time to get here. A lot of times I feel like I should be further ahead than I am right now. I started on a slab at my mom's house, and what would that have been, like 2012? My wife was like, you should go get it, because I would always watch Craigslist and I was looking at these bikes, and I was more into street bikes back then. I wouldn't touch these quads, dirt bikes, none of that. And so I ended up finding, and I want to say it was like a 95 Kawasaki Zephyr for $100. My wife convinced me, hey, just go get it. I'm like, all right, let's go. And it's been a fire since then. I moved up from that. Once we started moving some units, like I was probably fixing and selling 1 or 2 a month. And I had a theory, like everything I bought, I didn't buy anything I didn't want to get stuck with. So that if things went south and I couldn't sell it, and I stuck with it, oh, it's so bad. Now I'm stuck riding this 4-wheeler all weekend. And so I moved up to a 12 by 24. And then we moved and bought our first house, and I bought a 24 by 40 when stuff wasn't so dang expensive. It was like 15 grand for the shop with concrete. Unreal. Like, you're not getting something that size nowadays. And then when we moved out to Oklahoma, I rented a shop for a little while. I don't know how big that was, but it's pretty big. And then now this is mine here at my house. This is not cheap, but man, it's learning the hard way as you go. You know, some of this, there's a lot of stuff you can learn. There's a lot of stuff that's out there that's the wrong way. You know, me personally, since I've learned so much just straight up on my own, you would think that I would watch a lot of YouTube and learn things. I learned everything the hard way on my own, selling parts for years. I know I did it full time for at least 5 years. That was all I did, was sell parts. That really taught me a lot in the industry. Like, except for how to pronounce stuff, everybody giving me a hard time about how I say stator, because I called it a stator. That's how it's spelled. And it is what it is. I'm calling it stator now because that's technically what it is. And so I've learned a lot from that. I mean, it's easier just to get out there and learn, because I was going to go to school at one point, and a friend of mine who owned a shop, who I had sold some Sportsmans or something to, that's how I met the guy. He was like, hey, you know, if you go to school for that, that's $60,000 or whatever it was at the time. And then I had to relocate to Florida, but that I wasn't tripping on. And he's like, you know, with what you're doing, you're pretty smart. You could just have $60,000 worth of mistakes. And that's a good point. And you learn along the way, because there's a lot of stuff I know. For me personally, school's not the way for me. Like, I don't learn that great. hands-on, doing it the hard way. If y'all seen the last video of the Sawtooth 200, where I completely screwed up, mounted the pickup coil upside down, you know, people make mistakes. And in my defense also though, I've gone through a lot of units and I can't think of anything that you can actually flip the pickup coil upside down. So, stupid engineers. It's probably because it's Chinese. Hammerback 972, yes sir. Sure Power, the 05 was recalled for the computer. Yeah, they were real bad about it. And I know some of the newer ones, and it might only be fuel injection, they have this box, it's like that big, it's black. Those are getting hard to get, and I don't think anybody can actually work on them. Changed my profile pic to a pic I took of the Sportsman the other evening after changing taillights. Good shot of those tires. The Vampire Tooth. Appreciate you not editing that out of the Sawtooth vid. We can all learn from that. I know. I've been starting to get some hate comments, but like, it is what it is. Like, everybody makes mistakes, and those who act like they don't, you know, they just hide theirs. I could have edited all that out and been like, hey, the harness fixed it. But I'd rather be honest. Like, I don't lie about what I pay for these units. I'm honest about that. And I give it the truth. Escape said, USA, thumbs up. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Brutal Parts said, I died laughing in the Sawtooth video when you said working on a Polaris isn't any better than a Chinese unit. Yeah, man, those things are Chinese units. You want to know what pissing me off? This one right here. Now, I thought I'd give it a shot working on some customer units. I'm like, all right. This one, it needed the rear brake is also the e-brake, so the pad was gone. Like, even the metal portion, the piston was touching the rotor. Okay, no big deal. And I needed to change the oil. This is the stupidest thing. You have to remove the oil cooler and shift it to the side to remove the rear caliper. And I was up in there like this, trying to get up under it. Like, with a lift, it might not be so bad. But like, I had to use a swivel socket to get the drain bolt out. And it has the same exact setup as like the Sawtooths. My daughter's Sportsman 90s, they have it. Where it's got like the spring and then there's the filter on top. And it has that, and it's just the biggest pain to try to get that back in there when you're up under it, trying to like twist around. And it's one of those things I'm not doing a very good demonstration of, and I would show you where it is. And I'm pretty sure you have to remove the rear wheel to do it all. Rylan Frank, hey man, I love the video. Would you be interested in a 2004 Kodiak 450? It just depends on what kind of condition it's in and where you're at. Like those ones, I like to stay cheaper on. It's getting harder to sell some of that stuff for, we'll say, top dollar. They're getting to be cheaper quads. They're great units. I love the Kodiak 450. Me personally, I prefer the look of the Wolverines more. But good luck getting one that's not completely destroyed. So let me know where you're at, bro. Alrad said, one reason I enjoy your content, you keep it real. I appreciate it, man. It sometimes it gets hard, like putting some of this stuff in here, like, man, should I edit that out? Because like, you look stupid. I'm like, nah, we'll be realistic so nobody can ever like call me a liar. Be like, and that's the one thing I'm surprised about, is nobody's ever tried to call me out on how much I pay for these things. Because, you know, you see a bunch of people talk about, you can't get those for that. What I pay for these, I got bill of sale for everything that I pay for. And I feel like I want to give y'all a sneak peek. I shouldn't. That's next week's video. Well, there was more, but there was another one, but it is right there. Those are some interesting bikes back there. They, one of those is something I've never even heard of in the past. So it's definitely interesting. Y'all stay tuned for that one. I don't want to give away too much. but I paid 200 bucks for them. I'm excited. I'm sorry, guys. I'm giving away too much. I paid 200 bucks for all 4 bikes. Brutal Parts said the pulse coil can be installed backwards in the Brute. I've bought no spark machines in the past to find the coil in backwards. Yeah, I mean, that's a little different though, because you got the little silver thing that's supposed to point towards the flywheel. My thought, I guess I should have been paying attention when I did it. That's it. Riley Kiyoki said hi. What's going on, man? Rylan Frank, us for 300 bucks. It just needs a primary clutch, and I'm in Wisconsin. I'm on the drive a bit if you're interested. I would be, but Wisconsin is probably a bit too far for me. I'm on the Texas-Oklahoma border, and I don't know how far that is, but that sounds like an entire day and a half trip. I've never been to Wisconsin. I don't think I've been north of Kansas. Aaron M., I rebuilt transmission on a Sawtooth a while back. It was not fun. My daughter rides it every day and loves it. Yeah, I mean, they had weak transmissions in those things. Luckily, the parts unit I had from that bike, I sold the parts unit, the transmission out of that for like 200 bucks. They just strip a gear, and there was one of those I bought years ago. You could ride it in reverse. Just wouldn't go forward. And I rode it for a while in reverse, just having a good time, going backwards. Hammerback 972, ever dealt with charging issues on the 2002 Sportsman 700? Apparently recalled, and the aftermarket upgrade costs more than the machine is worth. I don't know about that. You can use the setup from the newer ones. So they had, it's like a CDI like this, and the coil wires come out of it. And I don't think that was just 02. I thought that was 02 and 03. And then 04 they switched over. To switch it though, you have to switch coils. I don't think you have to switch the harness. They make a kit for it on eBay, because you do have to switch the flywheel and the stator. If you're taking it to a dealer to have it done, yeah, it would probably cost more than the machine's worth. And depending on where you're at, for me down here, 2002 Sportsman 700 and decent shape, good running rideable unit, $1,500 unit. That right there, I couldn't see that costing more than $300 or $400 to fix it. Rylan Frank said, if you want to come get it for free, I don't want it. I really appreciate it, man. But that is a bit too far of a hike for me. And I'm willing to drive, but I have a 2004 Silverado 2500 that does not like fuel. I don't know how much fuel for a 6-hour round trip with my trailer is almost $100. Without the trailer, I can get by with like $70. So that mixed with the fact that it's got almost 300,000 miles, I don't trust it to go that dang far. George Smith, you ever worked on a Kawasaki Prairie 650? Yeah, well, not necessarily worked on them. I parted a bunch of them out. What was it? It depends on the year, because like the 650, you could get, no, the Prairies were only 2002 to 04 or something like that, right? Because 05 Brute Force came out. I am not a fan of the fact that they always need cranks, but outside of that, they're great quads. And if you need parts for one, or some knowledge, Brutal Parts, he's the guy. He knows because that Brute 650 is like a smaller bore version of the 750, and he claims to have a faster 750 than my 850. Hammerback 972. This one is a buddy's. It's ragged out, but he's on a very limited income. I help him work on it. It's a nightmare. If I was trying to fix it cheap, trying to help a buddy out, my best option would be to try to find another one that's ragged out with a blown motor, cheap. Especially if you find something that don't have wheels. No wheels scares away a bunch of people. Them 700s, they're hard to move. Just take your wheels with you, take your lug nuts with you, jack it up, put wheels on it, roll it back your truck, roll in the trailer, whatever. I've bought those in the $50 to $100 range. Well, depending on where you're at, but rusty frames, those ones deter a lot of buyers. blown motors deter a lot of buyers. And then you have all those extra parts. But I'm pretty sure you could take, I'm 90% sure you can take just the flywheel, just the CDI, coils, and stator. I think it's just those pieces that have to be swapped. Time consuming, yes. Hard, no. It's really, really pretty easy to do. Golly, we are already almost at an hour. Are any of y'all on here the contest winners? I'll actually have to go back through and look at it tomorrow and figure out the names, because it doesn't save them, because honestly, because I don't pay for that service. It's free. The free version. Hammerback said they are pretty cheap here too, unless it's one of the marketplace. I know what I got, guys. Yeah, those dudes, especially when it's something with a blown motor. That's why if you target the stuff that has no wheels, maybe no plastics on it, just find the ugliest blown motor unit you can find. Nobody else wants them. They're not worth as much in parts anymore. And then you get out. Hammerback said, nope, unfortunately not. Unless you are giving out stickers to people that talk too much, then I may be a winner. Oh man, we'll have to come up with something else for the next live to give out some stickers on the live side of things. Trying to think, was there anything else I was trying to go over on this live? Oh, hey, you know what's funny? So I'm looking at Marketplace the other day. And have y'all ever noticed, like, you'll be looking and they'll say like no, or it'll say like no title. I ran across one, and I've never understood why they put that. Like, why do you put no title in the title of the thing? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, do you not know what it is? Like, whatever. But then I ran across one that said ain't got one. And it dawned on me. When you get on Marketplace and you go to list a quad, it says right there, that top line, it says title. Yeah. And people just weren't smart enough to know it's asking for the title of the post, not do you have the title? Because I believe it asks further on down if you have the title, if it's listed as an automobile. It's hilarious. Hammerback said, I hate it when they put free in the title. Click on it and they ask crazy money for it. Yes. I will agree with you there. That frustrates me when they'll put, make me an offer, and then you make them an offer, and they get mad. But I started to do that, and I think it's funny now at this point. I make an offer, if you get mad, that's on you. You should have priced your own stuff, man. Like, if you want too much for it, look, that's on you. I'm not here to knock you for it. I'll laugh about it, but it's your stuff. You price it however you want. But I think it's funny when someone's like, especially when it'll be something that's like ragged out, like the Sportsman we were talking about earlier. Or for example, the one that said ain't got one, that one. It was an XR80 or XR100, I don't remember. Locked up motor, rear wheel was locked up. And it said trade for a sub box or some. Like straight up, like no good English. And he looked like a high school kid. I offered him $50. He did not like my offer very much. But I mean, at the end of the day, what's that thing worth? Nobody wants that. Unless you find someone who needs a front end for an, I think the CRF 70s, you can swap those. No, it's just the springs you swap on that anyways. Brittany said, I still can't believe I never thought of that either. I hate when they put no or an NA. Yeah, I'm just genius, and I noticed it. Brutal Parts said, I don't even click on the free or make offer listings. I get some of them, dude. I do. Some of them I make an offer, and I get them. There was a, what was that, about 2 years ago? It was a 2016, maybe 08. I don't know. Kodiak 700. Those are pretty new. Like 2010 and up, something in there. I don't buy many of them, so I have them. And it was on rims, 14s, and on like, I want to say 28s. Said, make me an offer. I offered the lady $400. She's like, sure, come get it. I got there, clean title. Motor was knocking so bad, but it was a decently clean unit. I'm pretty sure they sunk it. $400 for a newer Kodiak 700 with rims that are worth $600. That worked out. Hammerback 972s. I stay off marketplace. Too many dishonest people in my area anyway. Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Like, in my opinion, I've adopted some rules when it comes to buying off marketplace, and in all my years of buying and selling, it's been the most random people who were honest. There was one lady, I had to meet her in like it was like midnight, and I ended up buying the cleanest blaster. And she was like, all it needs is fuel and a spark plug, and it'll start again. But my husband went to jail. We got to sell all his toys. They had a bunch of cool stuff too, because they were into racing. And lo and behold, that's all it needed. Probably didn't even need the spark plug. That was probably a waste of money. Yeah, Hammerback said he's a I know what I got guy. Yeah, I mean, there's a certain place with I know what I got, and because like there's a guy around here. I price my stuff to sell, period. Because there's a lot of people that reach out wanting to buy units that were featured on the channel. So I price my stuff to sell, and I want to say there was the red Sportsman 500, and there was another one previous to that, but I don't remember what it was. The red Sportsman 500, I sold it too cheap. That's what it said in the title, because I did. And he reached out, and he was like, hey, this is all I can pay. It's not really worth what you're asking anyways. While we've got like, I don't know, 80 messages on this thing. Ended up selling it to a buddy of mine, but like, I don't know, I know what I got. Like, I guess there's a difference with knowing what you got and knowing the value of something, you know. Alrad, only been in the country short distance, some ad listers. I know, you know what one gets me every time? Never been in the mud. Or they'll be like, only used for farm use, which isn't any better. Farm use is so hard on things. Oh man, some of those posts, and there was one of them, I'm drawing a blank on it now. What did that guy put? And it's like, it'll be a nice used unit, and they'll say like, never been in deep mud, or never been in deep water. It's like, well, nobody assumed that from the get-go, but now you got me questioning that. 336 the Goat said, yo, I love your videos, man. I appreciate it, man. Hammerback 972. Whoa, Brittany, somebody actually had free stuff. Yeah, if you, Brittany's my wife. If you go to, she found one day, that has some app or something on her phone, says, hey, you get free, here's something free popped up. It says, here, it's Ozark for free. And I'm like, you know what, I already got the trailer hooked up. Let's just go. And it was about 45 minutes from me. I call him up on the phone. Hey, I want these. Like, he sent me his number. Hey, I'll take them. And he's like, hey, yeah, it's 2 of them. I'm like, sweet. So I drive over there, and I'm pulling in. Dude, I see a Rhino broke down over here. And there was a Honda broke down in that shed. And we're going off to the back 40 to get these Ozarks. I get back there. They're a little rough, but if you go to the channel, the first video that should pop up is those 4 free quads. Because when I was leaving, he gave me the Rhino too. And when I was leaving, there was another parts Ozark in the shed. Yeah, that I got for free. So that was pretty sweet. I mean, I basically got 4 free units for free. Probably never gonna happen again. 336 the Ghost said, what happened to your Can-Am? I wrecked it. Came in hot, and I am hurting right now. Like, I can't move like normal. I landed somewhere back here, and it's all swollen. And it hurts. Oh yeah. That's probably one of the worst wrecks I've had so far. It's not that bad. The Outlander's not that bad. It looks worse in this video because you're only seeing the back. The front's fine. Coasty Dock Garage said Marky Mark 281 and J-Lad Golden 5398. Did you write those down? Because I sure didn't. I don't know if anybody's on here. I'll have to reach out to him through the video. Hammerback said I put a 1985 Chevy Square Body on Marketplace for $1,000. It ran and drove, and people tried getting the price down without even seeing it. And $1,000 is cheap enough for a 4-wheel drive square body. Yeah, if you've got a titled square body, doesn't matter if it's long bed or short bed. 4-wheel drive for $1,000? No, there should be no, hey, we take $200. Hey, somebody hit us up on one of the units recently and legit asked us, I want to say to keep it till September, and that was last month. Maybe it was the Bear Tracker. So that would have been at the beginning or end of June. Like, to keep it till September? And if you've been selling on Marketplace long enough, once you get to around January, everybody's like, hey, will you hold it till my taxes come in? Will you hold it till my baby mama taxes come in? Brutal Parts, I know what I got, guy. Yeah, you got a whole bunch of broke down brutes. Hammerback 972, Brutal Parts, but you actually know what you do got. Yeah, that's true. Coasty Dock Garage said El Smitro was a winner. Hey, you making it easy. Brutal Parts said, oh, I forgot about the free Ozarks. Yeah, they came and went pretty quick. Man, Coasty Dock Garage, you are on it. Appreciate it, man. George Smith, I really like that yellow Ozark you fixed up. Yeah, those Ozarks, they're pretty cool quads. And like as long as you buy one with a seat and it doesn't have a drop valve or a bad rear end, it'll run. They're pretty cool quads. And I mean the bright colors, I prefer the bright colors over something like green. Hammerback said, dang, that was a good haul. That dude in the comments that asked you if you were interested in a 4-wheeler said you could have that one if you go get it. It had a title and there were lots of pics, and I'm honest about my listings. Oh yeah, I saw that, but man, I can't. My truck's too much of a turd to make a trip like that for that 4-wheeler. As much as I appreciate it and as cool as that is, like probably 6 hours is as far as I'll go with it. Because if I break down in the middle of Wisconsin, I don't know nobody up there. Hammerback said it had a title and I guess the 85 Chevy, and there were lots of pics, and I'm honest about my listings. I canceled the listing without it within an hour. People blew me up. Every one of them tried getting the price down. Some of that stuff, there's better places to sell it than Marketplace. I haven't sold a car on Marketplace in so long, and a lot of times I see stuff come up that's like jokes, like about how Marketplace is. It always seems to be about cars. So I'm guessing maybe the car market's worse. I know whenever I was trying to buy another truck, it was just a pain to get anyone to respond to me. Coasty Dock Garage says some of those people that lowball get blocked with no reply at all. Yeah, I agree with that, but like in another instance, it helps the algorithm to show to more people. So I don't know. I guess it's everybody's personal preference. Personally, I want to make sure that I'm staying at the top of the algorithm, so it's really showing it more. So like, you know, I know a lot of people get aggravated with the is it still available, stuff like that, or the automated messages. It's not that big a deal. People accidentally hit it. It's not that hard to say yes. But the low balls, yeah, I could see blocking them. Raptor Crazy said the 3 Ozarks, that was a good video. Yeah, those were some solid units, and they were pretty profitable, especially since I got them for free. Outdoors Crazy, like the channel, good luck. Appreciate it, man. Hammerback 972. Oh, 6 hours. That's enough. It is definitely more than 6 hours for me to go to Wisconsin. I guarantee you it's over 14. I don't know how far exactly it is, but I can almost guarantee it's over 14 hours. And but like 6 hours one way, I'll do that. There's a viewer on the channel who he's got a bunch of stuff down between San Antonio and Houston. I go down there and buy stuff from him sometimes. That's a haul because it's 6.5 hours one way. There's a guy in Austin who he was a viewer of the channel. Prairie, that was a Prairie 400. He couldn't figure out he bought it and couldn't figure out what was wrong with it, gave it to me. So I drove down there to get it. I mean, I don't mind a 6-hour drive. I actually like the driving. Jonathan Bentley said, "What's up, dude? Did I hear right? You're in Arkansas?" No, I'm right across the border. Like, I'm an hour from DeQueen, north of Paris. I'm not far from Broken Bow, Oklahoma. Oh man, my phone's dying now. I've recorded so much with it, it's burned the recorder into the screen. Because that's what I record all the videos with. But it's killed my battery life. So I think I was at 75% when we started 71 minutes ago. And I am at 15 and going down rapidly. So I'm gonna have to wrap it up here, guys. Anybody else got any more questions left before I call tonight? Raptor Crazy, trying to catch up on your videos so I can only do it on Sunday. Working 6 days a week from 6 until 9 at night. The Green 100. Hey man, you know what? I'm dropping a new one every Sunday. I appreciate y'all watching. Jonathan Bentley said, "I love your content, keep it up." Appreciate it, man. I appreciate everybody that watches. You know, I couldn't do it without y'all. Like at this point, and you know, it's from all y'all. That's the whole point of being on here. Nice. Al Rad said, "Nice chat. Take care." You too, man. Appreciate it. I'm getting like comments from YouTube up here that are irrelevant to this chat. And one of them was a short that I posted. Like, "What do you ride?" And someone just posted your dad. That's what it said. "406 Reagan said, hey from Montana. Gamer Dad T-Man, I'm from Wisconsin and you were exactly 14 hours from me. You nailed it." I knew I'd be pretty close because there was an auction or something. And I want to say it was Wisconsin, where there's a bunch of like the people who do the street rides where they're street takeovers with dirt bikes and stuff. Anyway, there's a bunch of that stuff for sale. And I was kind of eyeballing it. If I remember right, it said it had to be taken out of state. So that's probably why I looked that up. But all right, guys. Well, I'll see y'all on the next one. And we'll do another giveaway. Do another giveaway soon. Appreciate y'all watching. Have a nice night.